Thank you, Professor. And Taimi, I will make the opening remark that I differ from Jeffrey Sachs in three ways. Firstly, I don't blame all the problems of the world on politicians. Nations get the politicians they deserve. Secondly, I stand very clear that the incredible progress made during the 20th century in the world was on the back of first coal, then oil, then gas, in terms of not technology, but in terms of human development, in terms of human population, in terms of longevity, and in terms of the reduction of poverty, all of that done on the back. But yes, our planet faces a crisis right now, and we need to address it. I differ from Jeffrey Sachs, Professor Henning, in three ways. Firstly, I don't blame the world's problems on politicians. Nations get the politicians they deserve, from Germany to Russia to South Africa to the United States. Secondly, I do not believe that pursuing a single objective is in fact the way to move forward. We need to at all times pursue multiple objectives. And the third one is that the 20th century was the golden era of human development in terms of life expectation, human population, human development, and the reduction of poverty. And that was done on the back of coal and oil and gas. But our planet now faces a crisis, and we need to address that. As we speak on this Wednesday, oil, coal, gas, hydro, nuclear, wind, and sun contribute to the world's energy as you see it on the left hand. And yes, the energy transition that we face is one of the most significant transitions in industrial sense the world has ever seen, in terms of impact on economies, geopolitical power balances, of taxes, on energy prices, on energy security, on energy reliability, and yes, importantly, on the environment. But in conversations, I find that the scale and scope of the global energy system is underestimated. And to give you an indication of the scale of global energy, the world's largest gas company, which I chose, is Russian, Gazprom. Gazprom supplies 12% of world gas, but today, on this Wednesday, 3% of world energy. All the installed solar capacity in all the wind farms in the world supply as much energy, less energy to the world than Gazprom does today. And in China, where two of our speakers come from, the Three Gorges hydroelectric plant, the largest single energy plant in the world, supplies only 1.5% of Chinese electricity, but 0% of world energy and 0% of world electricity, to give you a scale. The country of Qatar, which is the world's largest so-called liquefied natural gas exporter, supplies 4% of world gas, 1% of world energy today. And all the wind farms together installed in the world over the past 20 years supplied 3% of the world's energy today. And last but not least, importantly, in terms of the transition, all the installed battery capacity in the United States, in Europe, in Australia, and China, Japan together supply 0% of today's daily energy and 0% of today's just renewable power. Okay. That's the reality that we face. And I pay tribute to the important role that Russia, as one of our host countries of today, plays in global energy, because whilst it on the one hand keeps itself warm largely with gas, it is playing a very important role on its western side to keep Europe warm and energized and mobile, and to keep China energized and warm and mobile at the other end. Now, from my perspective, members of the panel, but also audience, the global COVID crisis and pandemic has demonstrated that cabinets of the world needed to do four things at the same time. The first one, they needed to save human lives now. They needed to keep the global economy going now. They needed to develop and roll out vaccine technology, and they needed to protect the debt load of future generations. That's why I say, and if any cabinet or any country said, I can do just one of those, it runs into a crisis in the other three. And if we think that if they just said, we will save human lives now, irrespective of the debt load, irrespective of the impact on the economy, that's when it goes wrong. And that's where I differ from Jeffrey Sachs. In the energy transition, 5 things need to be done by cabinets and countries. First one, the most important one, is to supply countries with secure, available, reliable energy. The second one is to protect the environment, starting with climate, but also air and biodiversity. The third one is to develop all the new technologies of renewable storage, hydrogen, carbon capture that we spoke of, especially our Chinese friends contributed so clearly on. The fourth one is to protect the debt load of future generations. And the last one is the matter of price. Supply affordable, competitive energy. I put it last, but not to leave it out before we see public protest. So if you ask me, bring that together, what will the global future energy system look like? Firstly, it is clear to me that the single energy form, which for decades to come will still keep the energy system together because it helps renewables to grow, because it helps hydrogen to grow, is gas. The second one is going to be massively increased solar capacity. The third one is going to be massively increased wind electricity. But solar is available 1/5 of the day on average. 1/5. Wind is available 60 to 70% in places where it's strong. And then electricity storage to come. And the last new kid on the block, either produced from natural gas on the left or solar electricity and wind electricity in the middle, is going to be hydrogen. To also, as Professor Chung and others spoke about POSCO and the hard to abate energy sectors, it's going to be hydrogen. That's the energy picture for the next 3 decades as to what will dominate. I do not see nuclear doing it. I do not see coal doing it. I do not see oil doing it. My composite picture, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.